Hi guys, I decided to post a little video of me going over some problems from page 409. So these are just select problems from page 409, the last assignment that you were assigned. So I picked out some problems. Number 7 looks like one that might give you trouble. Square root of 5 times fifth root of 5. So you cannot multiply those, because this is a square root and this is a fifth root. And so I'm going to rewrite that as 5 to the half. I'm going to rewrite that as 5 to the 1/5. And since the bases match, then we can add these two together. Remember that rule from algebra that says, if we had a to the second times a to the third, we could add those and get a to the fifth. So that's the rule that we're using. So this would be 5 to the 1/2 plus 1/5. You can use a calculator to add those fractions if you want. 1/2 plus 1/5 gives you 7/10. So 5 to the 7/10. You can leave it just like that. Number 15 is one that I picked out. Number 15 says -32 raised to the 6/5. This is one that I would see if a calculator will do. The reason I didn't do that in a calculator here is because I know there's no square root of 5, and I know there's no fifth root of 5. So I didn't even bother trying that in a calculator. I'm going to punch this in exactly the way it looks. So parenthesis, -32, close parenthesis, raise it to a power, 6 ABC 5 raises to that fraction power, and then you press equals. It did not like that one. Let me try that again. Parenthesis, -32 raised to a power. So -32, let's see, fifth root of -32. That works. I'm just surprised that the calculator doesn't do that. So fifth root of -32, that works. So whenever you have a fraction power, this is the root, this is the power, right? So since it didn't like that, the calculator did not want to raise that to the 6/5 power, I just did it separate. So I took the fifth root of -32, and that leaves -2. The calculator liked that part. And then you raise it to the 6th power. So that's still in my calculator. I can raise that to the 6th power, and you get 64. So this answer is 64. Okay, number 19. 19 is x to the 2/3 raised to the -3rd. Okay, this is one of those power to a power problems. Whenever you have a power raised to a power, you multiply those. So multiply 2/3 times -3, 2/3 times -3. That's what you get when you multiply those. Another way to look at it is the divide by 3 and the multiply by 3 will cancel, and that leaves you a 2 times the negative, which is -2. Now, you cannot leave your answer with a negative power. That's considered unsimplified. So remember, a negative power means it's a fraction, so it's 1/x². That's the answer. Okay, I picked out number 21. 21 looks like this. 3x raised to the 2/3 raised to the -1. Okay, first of all, the x is raised to the 2/3, not the 3 is not raised to the 2/3. So because inside this group, if you just look at that right there, the 3 doesn't have the power, but the x does. So that's one thing to be aware of. There's two different ways you can handle this. You can handle this part first and put all of this on the bottom of a fraction, because that's a negative power. Or you can, it's kind of like distributing the power. You can raise the 3 to the -1, and then you can raise the x to the 2/3 to the -1 separately. You could do that first if you want. I think I'll handle this first. I'll put 1 over 3x to the 2/3. So I'm just taking care of that negative power first. This means the cubed root of x squared. That 3 is okay, but this is a root. It's a cubed root, and you can't leave that on the bottom. So here's what this means. It means 1 over 3 cubed root of x squared. So see, that can't be left on the bottom. And since it's a cube root, we need 3 things in there. So we need another x. To do that, to fix that, I'm going to multiply by cubed root of x. Whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. And here's what that winds up looking like. 1 times cube root of x is just cubed root of x. This 3 is still just a normal 3. And right here, these 2 x's and that 1 x, since it's a cubed root and there's 3 of them, that just brings out an x. So that's your answer. That one was a tough one. And then number 31, I picked out that one. Y to the 1/2 times y to the 3/10. This one is kind of like number 7, only it's with y's and that was with numbers. So all we have to do is add those powers. Oh, curse. So we're going to add 1/2 plus 3/10. So 1/2 plus 3/10 gives you 4/5. Y to the 4/5. And the last one I picked out was number 35. 35. So while I write this down, let me just remind you that if there are problems here that you did not have trouble with or did not miss, you are under no obligation whatsoever to watch every single second of this video. Just fast forward, just watch for the numbers and look at which ones you want to see. Okay. Everything here is raised to the 1/3. So I'm just going to do each little piece of it separate. I'm going to raise 8 to the 1/3. Your calculator will do that for you. 8 raised to the 1/3. See, that's 2. So that right there, that 8 raised to that 1/3 looks like this. That's just a normal number 2. X to the 6th to the 1/3. X to the 6th to the 1/3 is that power to a power. So you multiply 6 times a third. A third of 6 is 2. If you want to do it on here, 6 times a third gives you 2. So that means that's x to the 2nd. X to the 2nd, that's what's on the top. On the bottom, 27 to the 1/3. Your calculator will do that. 27 raised to the 1/3 gives you 3. So that right there is a normal number 3. And then y to the 9th to the 1/3. We have that power to a power, so we multiply. A third of 9 is 3. So 9 times 1/3 gives you 3. Y to the 3rd. So it's 2x squared over 3y cubed. There is nothing else you can do with that because that can't be reduced, and that's an x and a y. So that's the only thing that can be done. All right, today's assignment is a review assignment. It is page 412, and it's a review of these first few sections of chapter 6. If we were at school, we would be having a first part of the chapter test tomorrow, but we are not there. So I just have not figured out yet how I'm going to do tests. It really depends on how long we're going to be out of school. So I will let you know as soon as I know, but here is today's assignment. Tomorrow I will do a brief little video like this one, just going over a few of these problems. So remember, the best thing for you to do is do every single one of these problems as best you can, show your work. Some of it, a lot of it in fact, especially this first part, is just calculator, typing things into a calculator. Check your answers in the back of the book. And then when I post the video tomorrow, just look for the ones that, that you might want to see worked out. So I will talk to you then, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And just for funsies, here's a little view of my dog, Oliver. Oliver. I was going to have him say hello, but I don't. Ollie. Anyway, that's my dog. So y'all have a great day.